and I thought it would be appropriate if I actually did the thing I'm teaching about today, which is that I am indeed broadcasting in real time, live streaming right now to multiple platforms. I'm going to lay out what those platforms are in just a moment and guide you through why this should even matter to you, why you might even consider something like this for your own benefit, to grow your own business. So we're going to dive into that. So what I'm doing right now, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you have a link to join me on Zoom. And every week since June, we've been doing that. We've been meeting on Zoom. So what I did today is I put a graphic on Zoom that says, come over here to YouTube. You can actually watch this on multiple platforms, but I suggested that you come over here and watch me on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. What we're doing here is a demonstration as well as teachings. It's very, very meta, what I'm doing today. Glad that you're here. And I thought I would just start the live stream a couple of minutes early, wait a couple of minutes before I get into the meat and potatoes of today's training, since we have people that are being redirected. I see you coming on live now, so welcome. Redirecting you from Zoom over to YouTube, and you may also be watching from a variety of other platforms. So I'm using a special tool to do this today, to not only show what I'm doing, but to also walk you through the process of why this matters, why you might consider doing something similar. And, this may well be the next step for you, depending on where you're at in your video marketing strategy. Cheryl Plouffe here, video strategist. And today we're talking about growing your videos and tripling them by live streaming to multiple platforms, which is exactly what I'm doing today. And I'm going to encourage you to ask questions, post in the chat, post in the comments, and I'll be able to address those for you today. Okay. So welcome. I see you all coming on. Great to have you here. We're talking about growing your views by 3 times, tripling your video views by live streaming to multiple platforms. Those of you who joined me on last week's free live training, I still conducted it through Zoom to multiple platforms. This week, we're taking it to the next level. And this was at your suggestion. You asked me about multi-streaming, and that's exactly what we're doing. But this week, I'm doing it a little bit differently, where I'm starting the live stream on the Restream platform, which is the one that I'm going to be using today, and that's being broadcast out to multiple platforms. So welcome to today's training at 3:01. I'm going to get started in about 1 minute from now. We'll just wait for a few more people to make their way from Zoom over here, and I've got a graphic that redirects and a link and everything. So excited to dive into this with you today. Why?
See the video I posted in the group today?
Oh, I'm just going to, Maura, I hear you. I'm just going to, let's see, I don't know if I can pause or mute you there. Let me just see. I would ask maybe if you are on, let me just see here if I can do this on my side. If you are on the Zoom platform, if you can mute yourselves, please, participants in Zoom. What was your question, Maura? I couldn't hear it quite.
Just asked if you saw the video I posted in the group earlier today in the inner circle.
I did not. No, I actually just got home like 20 minutes ago. So, but no, good. I'm glad. Okay, I'll go check it out after. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are, what we're diving into here today is live streaming. And I thought, well, it would really make a lot of sense for me to live stream to multiple platforms, since that is the topic of today's discussion. So what I'm doing today is I'm using a platform called Restream, restream.io, and I'm going to put in the chat a link that, for those of you who are interested and want to try this out for yourselves, by all means, you can go ahead and do that, whenever you wish. What I'm doing today is I'm using Restream to broadcast to the following platforms, and it's all happening simultaneously. It's all happening in real time right now. You are watching me on YouTube. So welcome. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. You're also watching me possibly on my Facebook Cash In on Camera group right now. You might also be watching me from my Facebook page, which is under my own name. You might also be watching me on Periscope, which is not a platform that I've used a lot, admittedly, but now that I have the ability to live stream, in fact, Restream allows you to multi-stream to up to 30 different platforms at the same time. I just happen to use these platforms that I'm using today. You could also use this to stream out to LinkedIn if you have the ability to stream to LinkedIn. I don't have that ability yet, despite my various attempts. I think I've applied 3 or 4 times now to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn gods, please grant me the ability to go live on LinkedIn. You could also, for all you gamers out there, Twitch is also a possibility. I could also have chosen to broadcast this out to my Facebook personal profile if I'd wanted to. But hey, Janine, nice to see you. I see your messages. Yeah, I know. Isn't it amazing? It's great. So I could have chosen those platforms as well. But what I thought it would be interesting for you to see is that the possibilities for you, and I want to question you today and have you really think about you and your video marketing strategy. What I do with this training, and it really has in many ways become somewhat of a show. I happen to call it a training, but in reality, it really is a weekly show that I'm putting on. The wonderful thing for you as a coach, a consultant, a speaker, an author, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, is that you no longer have to go through the gatekeepers to have a show of your own. You can have a show of your own. You could have a YouTube channel. You could have your own show on a Facebook page and go live. You could post recorded videos on your Facebook group. I mean, the definition of a show is very different now than what it traditionally has been from my era and from my professional experience in television. You know, if I wanted to host a show, I would have to go and work for someone who's producing a show. And that's how I would either host it or I'd be involved in that production to some degree. The beautiful thing is now that you have that ability in your hands, on your computer, on your phone, to be able to create your own show. So I want you to really think about what is your show? Maybe you've already launched your show. Yay, that's awesome. Maybe it's a show that's just, you're thinking about it. It's in your heart, it's in your head, but it actually hasn't been birthed yet. It hasn't come to fruition. I believe that each of you does have a show in you. You just might not know what the name of it is. You might not know what the topic of the show is or the direction of the show. But my belief is that if you're in business, you already have it within you to produce a show, because the definition of a show has changed. And it can be whatever you want it to be. So for example, with me, I really believe that this live free training that I've been doing now since the middle of June of this year has become in some ways a show. It just happens to be that I train on a tactic, or usually a marketing tactic through the lens of video to your benefit. And many of you are in my community and you're accessing the replays, or you're going through my video search engine to be able to get what it is that you need from my carving out 30 to 45 minutes of my time every week on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. The important thing is that it's consistent. That's how shows are. They're consistent. So I really want you, and I'd love to see your comments if you can just comment wherever you're watching from, whether you're watching from YouTube, if you're watching from the Facebook page, from the Facebook group, or maybe even Periscope. I can't see all of the messages, but I can see most of them. I can see the YouTube comments here in my chat. I can see the Facebook comments in my chat on this platform and free stream. So let me know, what is the show that you're either already doing, or what is a show that you might like to do? Let me know in the comments. Hi, Lisa, you're watching on YouTube. I see that. Hi, Marl, nice to see you. Keith is watching on YouTube. Great to see you. So what is the show that you're already doing? Or what is the show that you would love to bring to fruition? After you answer, good vibes, thank you so much. Hey, Keith, you're only an hour away from me. That's great. So after you have given thought to either the show you were already doing or the show you might like to bring into the world, where this piece comes into play, which is how do you get more views on your show? There are a variety of different ways that you can go about that. One of the most exciting, and I believe lowest barriers of entry for you to get more views, triple views, quadruple the number of views that you might normally get if you're producing a show on one platform, is to live stream the show. Live stream means that it's in real time. It's happening in this moment, just like this broadcast is right now. And you could do the same. You could have a show that every single week at a specific day and time, you go live. And maybe you use the model that I'm using, which is to train, to teach. My belief is that if you're looking to build authority online, teaching and coaching and mentoring is really one of the best options for you, because it does position you pretty much instantly as an expert, as an authority, leader, and resource of what it is that you do in your particular niche. What I don't think works as effectively for building authority, especially if you're a coach, a consultant, people who tend to be in my audience, what doesn't really work as well for most people in that arena are long-form vlogs, where it's an account of your, entire day, what we would really call community-based videos, until people get to know who you are. Once you've built up an audience and people know who you are, and right now, between the 4 platforms that I'm broadcasting to in real time right now, cumulatively, the audience is over, I did the math, 18,523 people across those 4 platforms of mine. That may not be the case for you right now. If you haven't already launched your show, then it's possible that that audience number is still very low or maybe non-existent right now, but you can change that. If you've already launched your show, maybe your numbers are higher than mine. That's awesome. But I've worked already to build these platforms up. I just happen to be reaching them all simultaneously right now through this Restream.io platform. The link is in the chat for those of you who want to try it as well. So I now have the ability to really put out a notification, right, through this platform to reach 18,523 people across those four platforms alone. Imagine if I also added LinkedIn to that, where I've got another 2,000 people. My personal Facebook, if I wanted to. I don't think I have quite 5,000 friends there, but I probably have about 3,000. So it opens up an opportunity for you to reach more people. Okay, so I'm just watching your, Keith says he's developing an online course, need to supplement it with podcast, vlog, webinar. So Keith, depending on the situation for you, I'd be really careful with the vlogging. Vlogging can be really effective once you've established that credibility, once you've established that that sense of authority that you likely need for people to care about the vlog. I think that's one of the things that I see often in the video space. Lisa says a live painting show. She doesn't do one yet, but planning to at some point. She's procrastinating. Okay, so Lisa, let's think about a live painting show. It's a great example. And you fill in the blanks of whatever your show is here. But imagine doing a live painting show, maybe from your home, maybe from a studio or something like that. And through the one single camera setup, you could use a platform like Restream to be able to reach all of those platforms all at the same time. That's amazing. You could be at the early stages of building your audience, but because you're able to reach all those platforms where there's the potential to reach billions of people, you're certainly going to carve out an audience of the people who care and want to know more about your live painting show, so long as you've positioned it so that they get something out of it. And I'm going to guess it's instruction, you're teaching, that kind of a thing. So Susan says a live interactive painting show with encaustic art, of course, somewhere, somewhat where Lisa is right now. Live painting show, that's so cool. Yeah, so these are awesome suggestions. These are great ideas that you guys are coming up with. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
I'm on the Zoom link.
Hi.
I only see the chat from the Zoom. I do not see the YouTube chat. I'm not able to see any of the chat that you're responding to.
Yeah, I'd have to go in. I'm looking at the Restream platform right now, so I'm not sure. I don't want to go over to YouTube just yet, but I will go back after and take a look at it. Are you able to see me on the screen right now on YouTube?
I see you and I hear you.
Okay.
However, there's an entire chat going on in Zoom that you're not seeing.
So maybe I might need to go back into YouTube, and it could just even be a setting that I haven't clicked on yet. So I'll go back and take a look at that. It could just well be in my settings.
You're picking up the YouTube chat.
I'm seeing, so when I look at my platform right now through Restream, I see we use what's called a live studio. And in live studio, I see myself on the screen, which is what is being broadcast live to all of you who are watching right now. And on my right-hand side, I see a chat, and it will show me the different comments that are made on the different platforms that I'm broadcasting to in real time. And I can tell that because there's a little icon. So I can see the YouTube icon, and then I can see the Facebook icon, and I can see where those comments are coming in from. But what it's doing is it's melding all of those things together in one chat so that I can see all of them. You may not be able to see them right now. I'll check into that, Maura, but I am seeing them so that I can respond to those questions. Yeah. So that's a good point. I'll have to go in and check that. But what is interesting, and if you'll notice on the screen right now, you are seeing likely where it says live, cash in on camera. These are graphics that I created in Canva, and I can either take them off or in this case, have them show up on the screen. So I have the ability to do some fun things like I could do, if I wanted to, I could run variety. I'll just stop that one. But there are a variety of different overlays and graphics that you can add to your multi-stream, to your live stream that's going out on multiple platforms. So from a show perspective, it gives you a lot of ability to add some interesting elements and up-level the production of the video that you're doing, and while still going out to all those multiple platforms. I'm only scratching the surface of it today to introduce the concept of how you would indeed triple your video views by live streaming to multiple platforms. I just happen to have chosen 4 today, reaching over 18,000 people on my platforms, but you could also choose as many, up to 30 different platforms. A lot of them are gaming. A lot of them I'm not as familiar with, but I think the big ones are, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, LinkedIn. Those are really the big ones that I see. So it's really a great platform that you could, again, speaking about this from the perspective of a show, I can bring in guests. So now I can have, I'm not going to do it today, I may in the future, I could also bring in a guest, up to 9 people, in fact, and have a full-fledged show with multiple guests using this one platform and still multi-stream that out to multiple platforms. I can bring in guests. I can also run pre-recorded videos that I produced or another video, and I can play that to you if I wanted to. I have the ability to share my screen. So if I were to go like this and I said, okay, I'm going to, let's see, let me see if I can show. So this is the graphic that I shared on my Zoom to get everybody to come over to YouTube today. So if I wanted to, I could just come in here and I could choose to share my screen if I wanted to. So a lot that it can do, but I really want you to think about this from the idea of what is your show, whether it exists now or maybe it has yet to be birthed out into the world. But using a multi-stream platform could be a solution to helping you reach more people faster, to increase the views and to increase the engagement and the number of people who come to know the show. Because part of the trouble with a show is just getting people to even know it exists. That's one of the biggest challenges that you're going to face because, like I said, it has been democratized. Like anyone can create a show. Anyone can have a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, creating live streams. That's, sure, you want to have some idea of a structure, and one that I love to teach is the engage, educate, and enroll format. You can use that for live streaming as well as recorded videos. But if you're putting the show out there, the biggest thing that you're going to run up against is getting people to know it exists. And so the thing that's exciting about live streaming and multi-streaming, which is what I'm demonstrating today, is that it allows you to get that out to multiple